Hey guys, Kakarot197 again with another question of the week. And this week we're going to be talking about a lot of lost potential and also new type animals. So the first question comes from Kyra or Kaira Alpheus. In your opinion, were there instances of a very well-developed mobile suit that had a lot of potential but fell flat or had its potential go to waste because of armaments, special features, or other add-ons? The first machine that immediately came to mind was the Rigazee. The Rigazee was the perfect commander mobile suit for Jagans. It shared parts, made it easy for maintenance, it had a bigger beam rifle, more grenades, 2 beam sabers instead of just one, better mobility, just making it like an all-round better version of the Jagan. Perfect for commanders. Look at this picture. Does the Rigazee need anything else? No. No, it doesn't. But then they went ahead and decided it needed the back weapon system for no reason whatsoever. I will defend the Rigazee, but there is no way I have anything good to say about the back weapon system. It was a stupid idea shoehorned in there just to say it transforms when it doesn't. Anything the back weapon system can do can be easily achieved with a base jabber or similar technology and a gun strapped to it. And the thing with a base jabber is it works for every mobile suit. The back weapon system was made specifically for the Rigazee. At the very least, make the damn thing compatible with the other mobile suits the Rigazee is supposed to work with. So now instead of being remembered as a great option for commanders, it's remembered as a failed transformable mobile suit. To the point that it showed up in Unicorn, but it wasn't used. I'm calm again. Okay, talking about failed transformable mobile suits, the Gaza C. Again, quite a competent mobile suit in its own right. The problem was the transformation mechanism they put into the thing literally tore it apart. It's not a good addition, and now talking about machines that tore themselves apart, the Zuda. A very agile and powerful machine. And even though in the anime they say that it was because of Zeonic's backhanded tactics and whatever that the Zuda was not selected and the Zaku one was selected, no military anywhere is going to select a mobile suit or any kind of weapon that has a very high potential of blowing itself up as their next generation machine. So the revolutionary feature here that held the Zuda back was definitely its engine. It did eventually get fixed with the Zuda F, but that was way too little, way too late. Then the next thing that you could actually say got held back by all three of the criteria of your question was the full armor Gundam. The one from the MSV series, not from Thunderbolt. Basically, this thing was a complete misunderstanding of what made the original RX-78-2 perform as good as it did. It was a highly mobile, close combat machine that would rely mostly on its powerful beam rifle and beam sabers to take out its enemy. These weapons worked fine. Amuro had no problems with the weapons. He had problems with mobility and the responsiveness of the Gundam. So by the time that they were going to upgrade the Gundam to get more performance out of it, we got two teams. We got Team Magnetic Coating, the successful ones, and we got Team Full Armor Gundam, the unsuccessful ones, because in the original setting, the Full Armor Gundam was never built because they rightfully so assessed that all of the extra weapons and armor could not be sufficiently offset by the thrusters and would lead to an unacceptable loss of mobility because, again, RX-78-2 is a close combat machine. Why put that on the Gundam? Why not take that concept and apply it to the gun cannon, which is already kind of a heavy fire support unit, to make it even better at that role, or put it onto a GM? They could definitely use the extra firepower and they could use the extra armor too. Moving along, we have the Tyran all-region type. And this one is a little bit different because it didn't really get screwed over by itself, because this thing was essentially the regular soldier version of the Tyran Tauzi. It had a beam rifle, high mobility, high performance. It was the best thing the Human Reform League had ever built. So what was wrong with it? The jinx happened, and the Tyrantausi was stored and only got to show its full potential the one time Sergei piloted it. And while recording this video, I actually thought about two more machines that totally fit the criteria for this question. First up, we have the Gyan. This thing failed because of the weapons. It focused way too much on close combat, so it had a very powerful sword, but for ranged weapons, it just had its shield with like the missile launchers and the mines on it, but that was everything. If you're going to develop a beam weapon capable mobile suit, why not also develop a beam rifle for it? Or at the very least give it some kind of gun, just as a last resort weapon. It's almost as if someone who had no idea what they were doing was heavily involved with this machine. And then the final one for this specific question is the Hyzak. As much as I don't like the Hyzak as a Titans machine, I do feel like the thing had a lot of potential if only it had a more powerful reactor. Now this was rectified with the Hyzak Custom, but I do feel that if the Hyzak had had a better reactor capable of handling more beam weaponry, it could have been a much more powerful machine. Then moving on to the next question from Dan the Plastic Man. Since Seed and Destiny seem to be getting quite a bit of love from you lately, which ZAFT 2nd generation Gundam, Chaos Gaia Abyss Savior, do you feel has the most potential that wasn't shown in the series, potentially thanks to a lot of reused animation? No doubt, the Savior. 100%. It is a highly mobile, transformable Gundam. Despite being a non-nuclear Gundam, it was supposed to be amazing. Atheron was piloting it, a veteran pilot from the First War. The Savior should have rocked. Instead, the most memorable moments now are its introduction with a panty shot, thanks to the remastered versions, and the scene where it got chopped into tiny little bits in less than an instant. The Savior suffered from what I'm going to call making Kira look good syndrome. On to the final question then from Prof. Motherfucker. Can animals show a sign of Newtype trait? And the very short answer is yes. In Gundam X, we have seen a white dolphin that was a Newtype, and it could even communicate through like the Newtype communication with other Newtype, well, with human Newtypes from the show. Now, keep in mind, Gundam X is in the After War universe and not in Universal Century. In the Universal Century, officially or canonically, or however you want to call it, we haven't seen any Newtype animals. However, if we're including manga, specifically Crossbone Gundam, we do get to see Newtype chimpanzees. They even got their own customized Zaku with 4 arms and an upgraded reactor so that they can also wield 4 beam rifles at the same time. Of course, that's a design from Crossbone Gundam. And that is all for this question of the week. If you have a question you want me to answer in a future episode, leave a comment down below. And since I have gotten a few questions about this, I do also keep questions from older videos in mind. So if you leave a question, if you had left a question on an older video, or maybe even if you left a question on a completely unrelated video, I do see those questions and I do also keep them in mind. So then, all that's left to do now is to give a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great day, and I'll see you all next time.